Ain't no like, it's just action. All my just front like they tapping. You already know. Poppin'. Ain't no stopping me now, steady rockin'. Watch them hate on me now cause I'm locked in. Watch the hate on me now cause I'm poppin'. I ain't stopping.
And the New York Giants are the Super Bowl champs.
What's going on, sports fans, Giants fans, NFL fans? Listen, today we got a very special show for you guys. Normally, it's Giants or boxing or whatever, right? But as the Big Blue Crew Sports Network, it's only right that we give you sports from every angle. So what I want to do this evening is preview the 2024 NFL season with the chat engaged, with the panel engaged, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on what games you're most excited for going into the season. Not just as a Giants fan, but as an NFL fan, a football fan. Everybody has teams that they like aside from their team that they root for, that they bleed for, right? You might like a certain amount of players that play for another team that you keep an eye on their stats or how they did that week, you know, and you hope that they do well and have a good career even though they're not on your team because you love the sport. So, being that that is the case as a sports fan, we want to see where you guys are at, what games you're excited to watch, when you got Kansas City going up against somebody like Philly or something like that, even though I can't stand the Eagles, when you see these matchups on the schedule, you get excited for them. So as fans and for you guys, we want to get you guys involved and see what matchups you guys are most excited for. But without any further ado, let's get right into it. I want to say what's going on to all the co-hosts on the show, Big Pat Sports Talk, S. Goff, Man Cave, Unpopular Opinion. Y'all already know what it is, man. Big Blue Crew Sports Network in full effect. Want you to go over there and hit that subscribe button. What's going on, fellas? How y'all feeling tonight?
Cool.
Maintaining, bro.
Feeling great, bro. Feeling great. Ready to do this.
Y'all need to go do what he was doing off stream. No, let me stop. I'm just playing. Y'all just wake up, baby. Wake up. You know what I'm saying? Come on, puppy. What we doing, Panama? Okay. Nah, but let me pull up this. Oh shoot. There we go. I'm gonna minimize us. Pause. So that you guys can see. So right now, week 1, September 5th, Thursday. First matchup you see is Ravens and the Chiefs. That one right there is an exciting matchup. Lamar Jackson versus Kermit the Frog. I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. That's a week 1 matchup that most people are going to be excited to see. Eagles and the Packers, right? Jordan Love versus
Jalen Hurts.
I don't even like that dude's name. Yeah, that guy, right? Giants, Vikings.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. But if you just want to break down the games, the top games of the week, that Ravens versus Chiefs is gonna be a top one. I think that's the game of the week. You could say Rams Lions on Sunday Night Football that week. Cowboys Browns is gonna be a good one too. So if you want to say on Sunday that Cowboys Browns might be game of the week that Sunday, but
Sean Watson coming back versus Dak Prescott, that's a good matchup.
But that Ravens Chiefs, that very first game of the season, could be a pivotal game going to the end of the season for home field advantage. The Ravens, they want to get back for the AFC Championship. Lamar Jackson is going to try to prove that he can finally beat Patrick Mahomes. And that Ravens defense and that Chiefs defense, both of them are a little different, but both of them are still good. So it's going to come down to which offense produces the best in that game. And that Ravens run game with King Henry can control that Chiefs pass rush. So that whole game, that's going to be a chess match. That whole game. You got Andy Reid versus John Harbaugh. You got Jones. Can he get pressure on Lamar Jackson when they do pass? Or can they stop the run? Because if they can't stop the run, it could be a rout in that game for the Ravens. So who knows, man? That game there, that's gonna be a heavy hitting game. That's gonna be called on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network Thursday night. So we're gonna be calling that game, and it's gonna be a slobber knocker, man. Oh,
watch out for that Jaguars versus Dolphins game. I'm gonna give you a couple reasons.
Okay.
The
Talk to 'em.
Jaguars paid Trevor Lawrence. Dolphins, gave Tua a bag.
You
So
talking real low, NYG?
these is Can you hear me?
A little bit.
Yo, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now you
Okay.
Yeah. So, talking about the Jaguars and the Dolphins, though, both them quarterbacks got paid. So I want to see, and both these offenses supposed to be, two of the top offenses in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You have both teams, Friends playoff teams last year. Jaguars didn't get in, Dolphins did and got mopped. So these two teams got a lot to prove, I think, man. I think that the Jags and the Dolphins are two teams, man, that are on the fringe right now as far as, getting into the playoffs. But they're trusting in these quarterbacks. Paid the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's time to show up, step up. We put expectations on other quarterbacks. I need those same expectations put on Tua and Trevor Lawrence.
I got you.
That's a fact, man. K, what you talking about?
Well, the game I'm looking forward to is the Eagles and the Packers game. And I think that's the overseas game in where is it, Germany? Is it Germany?
I want to say it's Germany. They play on Friday, so we're gonna be calling the damn game on Friday. That's crazy.
Yeah, I want to see Jordan Love. He just got paid too and stuff like that. The Packers had a great end of the season last year, so I want to see if they could keep that going and stuff like that. And I also want to see with the Eagles. I want to see how all this, this vaunted Eagles offense is going to look. Where they say like you can't stop this, you can't do this. So we're gonna get to see, how they mesh. They're gonna have a new offensive coordinator too. I think is it a new offensive coordinator? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kellen Moore, because Kellen Moore is more of a passing, than the run game. So we'll see how they utilize, Jalen Hurts and stuff like that in that offense.
The game that seems like a no-brainer, right? The Ravens and the Chiefs. Most
Right.
people, ain't really speaking on it, but that really is going to tell you a lot about the AFC in week 1. Because really in the AFC, those are the two top contenders. If you really want to look through it, the Jets ain't really. I don't give a damn where Aaron Rodgers or not. They ain't hitting on shit. The Bills is the Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Steelers. New England ain't doing nothing. Miami might make a little splash, but they usually stall out towards the end of the season. So, for me, it's the Ravens and the Chiefs. Kermit the Frog versus Mike Vick 2.0.
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
He sounds just like Kermit the Frog when he talks, bro. He does.
Yeah, he really does. On the cool.
And then hold on, that Monday night game is going to be a wake-up call for the Jets against the 49ers, man. That should be a great clash, man.
Hey, that's going to be a good one, too.
I need to see that. I want to see Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
I want the chat to get involved and let me know which game you're most excited about for week 1.
I mean, that's a fact. That's going to be a good game. Cave, that 49ers Jets, that's going to determine the hierarchy for the Jets. The Jets can be on the high during the beginning of the season after beating the 49ers, and it's on prime time Monday night. We're gonna see if Aaron Rodgers really is that dude for the Jets. Can he come out and carve up the 49ers defense? Is Aaron Rodgers the key that they lost last year? The reason why they didn't do as well as they thought they were because Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Can he come out there with Wilson and get Wilson the ball? You know what I'm saying? When Mike Williams gets healthy, that gives him another big target out there, a way better version of Alan Lazard out there for him. Can they get their run game again going against that 49ers team? And the 49ers, the Brandon Ayuk saga. Is the Brandon Ayuk saga going to be over by then, or are they going to have to depend on Deebo Samuel? And they got a couple of rookies hurt at receiver. They got T.O. Son over there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, T.O. Son has been playing pretty doggone well for them. So we'll see exactly what that game is about. Now, a game in that very first week that I want to pay attention to is that Patriots Bengals. Reason why I want to see if Joe Burrow is back to being Joe Cool. Is that team back to being the Bengals after having a tumultuous year last year? And is Joe Burrow fully healthy? That game's gonna have implications because if they slip up and lose to the Patriots, that can have them on a low in the beginning of the season. So, in that Texans Colts AFC South battle, are the Texans going to come in this season and show supremacy over there in the AFC South and make themselves one of the better teams in the AFC that can challenge the Kansas City Chiefs for their throne? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the NFL season is going to be lit here with the Big Blue Crew Sports Network, and we're going to be calling multiple games. We're going to be giving you guys multiple streams of football during the NFL season. We're all going to call the Giants game at 12. And then you're gonna see about 3 or 4 different games being called after that. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's gonna be one heck of a season, man. And those couple of games in that first week are definitely gonna be some of the games that you would want to watch out for, especially the NFC East implications. Can the Packers upset the Eagles and make them start 0-1? Can we be the Washington plays the Buccaneers? I think that's a loss for them. And the Cowboys, that could be very well lost for them against the Browns. So we could be 1-0 and everybody be 0-1 to start in the beginning of the season. Wouldn't that be dope? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I can't wait to start giving you guys this content about all these NFL teams.
Hold on, then check out that other game too.
The Commanders, man. I want to see what they look like too. Everybody on this Commanders hype.
Well, hey, Matthew Stafford goes back home to Detroit. The Rams face the Lions. You know what I'm saying?
Monday night.
Look, it's a lot of exciting matchups for week 1. What is the Sunday night game?
That's the Rams versus the Lions. No, Rams versus Lions. That's a Sunday night. That's what Man Cave was just talking about.
All right, so that's the last one before week 2.
No, the 49ers.
The 49ers. Monday night game is the Jets 49ers.
So, all right. Week 2 starts off with who? Who's the morning game?
The morning games are going to be Bills versus Dolphins, which is going to be a heavy hitting AFC East matchup. You got the 49ers Vikings. I think the 49ers dominate that game. Then you got Seahawks Patriots. Seahawks should dominate that game. We should beat the Commanders. We're playing at 12 that day. Chargers Panthers, that should be a whooping for the Panthers. They should lose to the Chargers. Now that Saints Cowboys game is going to be very, very interesting. When those two teams play is always a very interesting game. The Colts Packers is an interesting game because that could go either way. The Browns Jaguars, that could go either way. You got Deshaun Watson has been paid an astronomical amount of money. So has Prince Charming.
Trevor Lawrence.
The Jaguars, yeah. So Titans, Jets, the Jets should come out on that one. Lions, Buccaneers, that's going to be a good game. That's a rematch of the playoffs from last year. The Buccaneers gave them everything they can handle. That came down to the wire. Raiders, Ravens, that's an interesting one because I want to see what Antonio Pierce can do to get his team hyped up to play one of the better teams in the league. That's going to be an interesting game because if they can stop their run game, they got a chance.
Bengals Chiefs.
Bengals Chiefs. That's going to be ultimate. That's the game of the week. Bengals versus Chiefs. You already know, and they at Burrowhead Stadium as they call it. So
Burrowhead Stadium.
Yeah, and then the rest of the games are not that hot going into the Bears versus Texans. I guess Caleb Williams versus C.J. Stroud. That's why that's on the Sunday night game.
Oh, the Bears supposed to be a top team this year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. CJ.
You got the Falcons. You got a whole bunch of dirty birds in this game. The Falcons versus the Eagles. And if they lose that first one, they could very well lose this one against the Falcons. The Falcons defense ain't no joke. And then they got some offensive pieces too. So who knows? But what game you guys most interested in week 2?
Steelers and Broncos. Russell Wilson.
Yeah, going back to Denver.
Against,
Yeah.
they
If he's starting,
he's gonna be starting.
Hold
I
on.
don't. Yeah, he'll be starting.
Go scroll. Yeah. Uh. Okay, so week 1 we play the Vikings. Week 2 we play the Commanders.
on the road.
I think I'm most excited about that Bills Dolphins game week 2.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great game.
That is gonna be a good one.
Well, that's
Simply
the Thursday
because-
night game.
Simply because New England has dominated that division for so long that somebody now has to emerge as the leader of that division. And for the last few seasons, Miami and Buffalo have been battling it out. Jets just got Aaron Rodgers. They still ain't made no noise. So I want to see which one of these two is going to assert themselves as the leader of that division.
Hey, NYG, can you bring up the schedule for me? And bring up the season schedule, because I want to do something with showing the teams that we're talking about.
Okay.
So keep talking about the Bills and Dolphins, Lou.
Bills and Dolphins.
Talk to me like that, nasty. No, let me. No, I mean, I basically said what I had to say about it. I believe that the winner of that game, establishes their dominance in that division, because New England is basically trying to rebuild. They're building from scratch, and Bills have Josh Allen. Miami has Tua, and now they have Odell Beckham. So want to see who's gonna go ahead and take that leap forward and grab the bull by the horn, so to speak, in that division.
You got that Pittsburgh and Denver game. Bo Nix, they all hyped up on Bo Nix in Denver now. So
Share my screen again, Lou.
should be able to see what he gonna do on that game against the Steelers. And they named him starting quarterback early.
But that's who I think wins.
The
That
Bills,
Dolphins.
well, I mean,
you got the Dolphins winning.
I got the Bills winning it.
They have the momentum right now. Josh Allen completed the season. Tua's had his injuries. They've been selective on how much they let him play and what they let him do because of the way that he was injured. So, the Bills definitely have the momentum. And now Tua has a new receiver he has to build chemistry with, and Odell Beckham and all that. So I definitely agree with you. The Buffalo Bills has the edge, and I would assume that they would win that matchup. But it's still going to be a very interesting matchup to watch with all the firepower and stuff that they've acquired over there in Miami.
I don't know. The Bills to me took a step back. Like I said, losing Diggs and Gabe Davis and stuff like that. They got to start with new receivers too. Keon Coleman and what's the guy name? He's not. He's on the Colts. I keep thinking he's on there. But yeah, I think they lost a bit too, and they lost who else? The running back.
They got
the Bills.
Bills, yeah, because the Bills.
Yeah, they lost Diggs.
Miz, it won't let me
running
bring
back.
you up because it says device not connected. It says you need to connect your mic and camera before I can add you to the stream.
Yeah, so the Bills got it. He got to build that chemistry with them guys too. Josh. You see the game.
You got the Dolphins. They got their offense. And see what they can do.
I don't even know Odell's gonna be ready for the week 1 or not. I don't know.
And the thing about the Dolphins too is though, they got A-Chain and Mostert in the backfield.
Yeah, A-Chain's a speed demon.
So like they have like skill position players all over. You know what I mean? Now they lost some pieces on the O-line.
Yeah, Hunt.
So and
and they lost Wilkins.
Yep, they
Christian
did.
Wilkins.
I think the defense will be okay. I mean, they still got Ramsey. You know, I mean they got another corner over there too. Can't think of who it is, but I
Yeah, it
think
was,
definitely. I think definitely the Dolphins will. This lose right. This is gonna be up to the Dolphins and Bills, I believe, for this division here. Like
mhm.
the Dolphins are a legit team. You know, people have questions about Tua and yada yada yada, man. But you look at what's around him, and this team is stacked, bro. Like they really are. So Dolphins gonna be in the mix.
You know,
You playing commercials and shit, man.
and the
I
Bills
ain't gonna do nothing to about a commercial.
and the Bills, yeah, them tight ends. We got Kincaid and what's the other guy name? Knox.
Yeah. Yep.
They also ain't paying me for that commercial. Shit.
They got two tight ends, so they might rely on them tight ends.
Obviously, they are because you make revenue off of it,
Yep.
sir.
But yeah, man, that Buffalo Miami game's gonna be pretty good there.
That's good.
New Orleans at Dallas is interesting, just because you know you don't know what type of team New Orleans is gonna be. They're one of those helter-skelter teams. I feel like, you know, that'll be hovering around, you know, the 500 type mark. So they might get Dallas, man, early in the season. I don't know, man. That's like an upset special, man. You know, if you betting.
And what's the thing with CD Lamb is I don't know if he ain't gonna hold out, right? He just missed all the training camp and preseason.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what they're gonna do with him. They probably gonna come up to a contract agreement real soon.
Yeah, man, because with CD Lamb, Dak Prescott, you gotta think he's gonna be up for a contract too. So, and the thing about Dak is, you know, he's been real vocal. They've been it's been in the media, you know, because of Jerry Jones, and he's got to go out there and, you know, another season and try to prove his worth to the Cowboys, and it's that type of drama, man, really affects the chemistry of a team. You know, this is what's holding the Dallas Cowboys back, in my opinion. I am a Giants fan, but I know talent when I see it. This team has talent. It's stuff like this that gets in the way. You know, now you got to play all these players, and all they do is talk, and you don't win. You know, and what does that say about the head coach? I mean, he's kind of taking a back seat to all this, hasn't he?
You talking about Mike McCarthy?
Mike McCarthy is like
I ain't hear him.
You know,
Been quiet.
He's real quiet over there. So, yeah, man, it's a lot of noise in Dallas, man. You know, if they keep it on the field, they should be one of the better teams in the league. But you know, sometimes that stuff gets in the way.
Really and who are they playing?
It's Saints in week 2.
Saints. They're playing
the Saints.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the Saints. What do you think they'll give the Cowboys issues with?
Alvin Kamara. If Alvin Kamara is on his game, I think that's something that can give the Cowboys edge rushers trouble. These guys don't want to tackle running backs. Like that.
Yeah, the run game. They don't like the run game.
Yeah, they not about that life. They want a quarterback hunt. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm the Saints, you know, I'm trying to get run Kamara to the outside, get him on the outside, and get those guys, you know, chasing. You know what I'm saying? And then tire him out.
In the draft.
Hold on 1 second there, Esgod. Sorry to cut you off.
Saints drafted. Who they drafted in the draft? Was it
They actually did pretty good in the draft.
Shoot, that's gonna be a good game, man. It's gonna be a better game than people think.
Well, trust me, Saints fans want to get off of Derek Carr. They want to get off of Derek Carr, bro.
Yeah, man. But you got Tampa Bay and Detroit.
That's gonna be a good
week
game.
2. This is still week 2.
Yeah.
Week 2, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, we seen the Lions up close and personal here with the Giants. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, we
So,
was just in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
so the
We
Lions
won,
have
and so were the Giants. I mean, the
high
Giants.
expectations, man. They have high expectations, man. The Detroit Lions do. So you have to wonder though, is a team like Tampa for real? They gave Baker Mayfield a contract, paid Mike Evans, brought him back in the fold, but so it's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be easy for Detroit, but Detroit is a Super Bowl ready team. That's their goal right now. You know, they're away from being the lovable losers, as they say. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now it's time to get for real. You know what I'm saying? Put your big boy pants on and step up to the plate, man, and get it done. So I think Dan Campbell has that team ready. They have a feisty attitude, a feisty mentality. To me, it's going to come down, I think, to their defense. It's going to come down to Detroit's defense here.
So they got 2 corners out the draft, though. You know what I'm saying?
2 corners out the draft. Right, out the draft. So, you know, they still got to go out there and show it on the field. I know they have enough pressure. They can get pressure with their edge rushers and their D line. To me, it's just more about the secondary with them. You know, and what happens, you know, when you stop being like an underrated team and now you're the team that people are coming to hunt.
You're right.
That's something else they're going to face this year.
You say you're not the hunter, you're the hunted.
Yeah, you're not being overlooked no more, Detroit. Team that the Giants got fired up for this team. You know what I'm saying? In a practice. So imagine what happens when they play these games and you going up against these teams and, you know, they know Dan Campbell's attitude and they know the Detroit Lions was in the NFC Championship game last year. So what happens now, Detroit? How do you look now when people ain't sleeping on you? But that's my take on the Lions. What you got, Cave?
For the Lions?
Oh, you can speak on the Buccaneers if you want to.
Yeah, on the Bucks. Yeah, on the Bucks. I'm gonna speak on the Bucks. Is like with Baker Mayfield. Y'all know he had a season last year. He reinvigorated himself last year, man. You know, I mean, I think that was the best team that he could go to and stuff like that. But you know, what I'm saying it remains to be seen now this year. You know, teams are gonna be ready for him and stuff like that. So I'm gonna see what he's gonna do. You know, he got Godwin back, Mike Evans. Who else he got? It's on the Bucks.
They still got Chris Godwin.
Yeah, they should still have Chris Godwin. Let me see.
You know, they got the boy they drafted the year before that went to LSU but finished his career in Nebraska. He's a very good receiver. You know, they still got White over there at running back. They still got a very good offensive line. I mean, the Buccaneers is no team to sneeze at. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Man, Baker Mayfield made plays for them last year. He had a very good season. And his Trey Palmer, there we go. And his attitude meshes with that Buccaneers team. Like Baker Mayfield, for as much as you may not like him or anything, he has swagger. He has enough swagger at the quarterback position to where if he's you know doing his magic out there, they'll get behind him and they'll believe in him. And the Buccaneers can surprise some people this year. They surprised people last year. They got a playoff victory last year.
Yeah, Jalen McMillan.
Yeah, they took.
Yeah.
Yo, that's the new and improved Miz.
Okay, why you yelling at us though?
Let's go.
KJ Britt. Let me see.
You know, they got Cade Otten at tight end. You know, their defense has always been very good and opportunistic. They can make some noise. They got Mike Evans back on the new contract. You know, that's an automatic 1,000 yards a year. The dude's at 1,000 yards for the first 2 years. Yeah.
Hey, and guess what? Ben Bredesen started on the offensive line, so that should be good for us. The more he plays,
yep,
get a compensatory pick, right? depending on how many minutes how many snaps. But he's gonna be a starter, so he's gonna play. And they drafted Graham Barton.
Yeah, that's very true. Now, who's a team that you think that will surprise you? We got the Buccaneers as a surprise team. Who's a team this year that you think that will surprise people this year in this NFL season? Besides the Giants, obviously, but who do you think will surprise some people?
The Raiders. The Raiders.
The Raiders?
I'm gonna go ahead and say the Raiders right now. Because when you have a coach that knows how to set a culture.
Cuts ain't till 4 p.m. Tuesday, Timothy.
Yeah, but when you have a coach that knows how to set a culture, you know, like Antonio Pierce is going to be able to do over there with the Raiders, I think that team could be the second best team in that division. Now, people might say the Chargers, but we still don't know with the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? I still have my doubts with the Chargers, you know. And I think the Raiders, with this defense, what they did with this defense now, and what Antonio Pierce is gonna bring, you know, they easily might have the second best defense in here. I mean, you could argue with the Chiefs, because we know their defense is pretty solid too. So the question, of course, is at the quarterback position. But hey, look, you still got Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers, and now Brock Bowers to throw to. You know what I'm saying? Their offensive line should be okay. It wasn't bad last year. I know they lost some pieces, but they still got some pieces too. Their offensive line didn't fall apart. So I mean, it's just the question of a quarter. It's a quarterback question with them, and it's a question of, you know, what Antonio Pierce is going to bring to this team, man. But I have confidence in Antonio Pierce, man. I like what he did last year with the Raiders, man. Look how many points they put up on the thing. Almost put up a 70 spot on the Chargers, man. You know,
right.
I think they let off so that team, that's a team that's playing for their head coach. You know what I mean? So I think the Raiders
And taking on their coach's identity too. Antonio Pierce is no slouch. He's a dog, former Giants linebacker. I was hoping he'd come over here and become a coach for us, but I wish him nothing but the best. He's going to turn that team around and turn them into monsters. I agree with you 100% on that one.
Surprise.
You know a team that I think that may surprise some people this year is the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
If they get themselves together, they have the offense to play with anybody. And Jackson Smith and Jigba is in his second year now, so he's learning the game a little bit better. You got that monster DK Metcalf. You got the veteran in Lockett. You got Noah Fant at tight end. You got Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet at running back. You got Geno Smith, who's playing very good football for the Seahawks. The thing with the Seahawks that could derail them is their defense. Can their cornerbacks get that magic back that they had that rookie season? I had everybody so high about Tariq Woolen. Can Witherspoon build off his rookie campaign that he had a very good campaign? You know what I'm saying? They still got Kobe Bryant out there. They still have their linebackers. They still got a pretty good edge rush with Williams at the defensive tackle position. The Seahawks, they just play in a tough division, man. They play in a division with the Rams and the 49ers. You said who?
They don't got Pete Carroll no more.
Yeah, so we'll see what they do. I know the Cardinals are going to be a little bit better. I still think they're at the bottom of that division. I think the Rams and the Seahawks and the 49ers, man, those guys are going to have some battles. I mean, some battles out in the NFC West.
Yeah.
And can they be good enough to derail the 49ers? You know, the 49ers are getting a little older. You know, they still got a lot of people to pay. What if they lose Ayuk? They lose Ayuk, I definitely see the Seahawks giving them a huge battle. Because Ayuk, man, that dude's super important for that 49ers offense. So that's a team to keep your eyes on, man, the Seattle Seahawks. And we play them again this season. Hopefully we can come out with the dub, but we just have problems with the Seahawks, man. So
playing them, man.
yeah, we play. It seems like we got to play them every year, bro.
Right.
So it's It's gonna be a battle out there in the NFC West, man. But that's my surprise team for this year, man. They can definitely get back in the playoffs, and they definitely can do something in the playoffs if they make it, because they have the offensive pedigree with Geno Smith, as you see on the screen, Pro Bowl quarterback. Kenneth Walker, Pro Bowl running back. You know, Pro Bowl receivers and DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, they've been to the Pro Bowl. A hot rookie and Jackson Smith and Jigba, man, they're gonna be a problem. Man, that dude's just a monster, bro. Like DK Metcalf, that dude's a monster, bro. And if that defense can play like that defense that played in that playoff season the year before, it could be a very, very good team this year. So I don't think they're gonna be any a slouch this year. So you're gonna have to watch out for them dudes, man. But
I'm gonna tell you who my surprise team gonna be for the year. Right down here in the A, the Atlanta Falcons. I think the Falcons are gonna surprise a lot of people because the Falcons have one of the top offensive lines.
Would agree with you.
Yeah, they have one of the top offensive line in football that people sleep on and stuff like that. You know, all these guys got paid on the offensive line. Majority of them got paid. So they both on the top offensive line. They got some weapons, you know, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Mooney, you know, Kyle Pitts that everybody forget about. You know, Kyle Pitts still one of the good tight ends and stuff like that. You know, and then you have to look at their defense. Their defense is like underrated. It's going to be underrated. It's stacked. And if everybody don't know about Grady Jarrett is one of the best defensive tackles in football that people don't talk about too much.
Yes, he is.
You know, and now he got some help with. They just got Matthew Judon from the Patriots. You know, the edge rusher. So they got him, and then they also loaded up on you know, from the safety position. They got one of the top safety tandems with Justin Bates the third, and then they just got Justin Simmons. You know, from the Broncos. They just signed him. So,
you got AJ Terrell at corner.
AJ Terrell just got paid. Yeah. So them guys gonna come, man. They gonna come, like I said. And Michael Penix is put in a great situation because if Kirk Cousins don't pan out or whatever, Michael Penix is in a great situation. He got a team. He got weapons on the offensive side and the defensive side. So his talent level is up there. So that's a team I can see making noise. And the Giants come down here, you know, to play the Falcons December 22nd.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Tyrone Hall, for copping some Big Pat Sports Talk merch. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the support, man. Check out that New York Giants full access merch as well, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. But I agree with you, man, Cave. I think the Falcons are going to be dope. They just got to put it together. Well, you know what'll hold the Falcons back? Mistakes.
Right.
Penalties, mistakes. If they play a mistake-free football with a quarterback that's competent, that's not Desmond Ridder, Kyle Pitts should be alive this year. You know what I'm saying? So you got Kyle Pitts, Drake London. Who else did they just bring over there? They brought another receiver over there. That was
Mooney or something like that.
Darnell Mooney. You got Bijan Robinson and Algier at the running back position. Algier is the power back. Bijan Robinson is the every down back. And then they had one of the top ranked offensive lines last year. So some good quarterback play and mistake-free football. They're going to be a hard team to beat. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, can Drake London step up and be that number one receiver that out of USC that people believe he can be? You know, can he step up and be that guy? Can he step up and be the red zone threat? Can he be the guy that moves the chains for him? We'll see.
Yeah, and that line they could block for Kirk Cousins. You know, he's coming off of ACL thing too. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to need that, need him to block. Give him some time. But
Man, hit that subscribe button and stop being ninja watchers, man. Ain't nobody on YouTube giving you content like this, man. Stop
it. DJ Truck Jared a few years ago.
Yeah, he did to get that 2-point conversion. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Buckeye, what's going on? Hit that like and subscribe button for us, Buckeye. Appreciate you, man. But Miz, who's the team that you're looking at to surprise some people this year?
Oh man, I don't know. Can we call the Jets a surprise or not really?
I mean, this is Sunday Night Football talk. Talk your talk.
All right, I actually think the Jets are going to be a really strong football team this year. I think they got maybe the best top 2 or 3 defense in the league. If their defense stays healthy all around, it's going to be very hard for teams in the NFL to score on them. And Rodgers stays healthy, he does enough on offense for them to win, I say, 11 games or so and make a little bit of a run in the playoffs. I mean, how far it goes, that's up to them and how healthy they are coming to late December. But I do like the Jets, as painful as that is for me to say that. And I got a surprise team that I think won't do good, that a lot of people think is going to be a top team in the league. I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to fold this year.
Oh, that's a hot take. Talk about it, Miz.
Hot take. The Bengals. The Bengals
pick.
been knocking on the door for years, right? The Cincinnati Bengals, a lot of people are high on. Well, the Cincinnati Bengals, to me, still haven't repaired that O-line. Burrow's injuries are mounting. And I just think that they're in a really, really tough division.
And they lost Mixon and what's that? The receiver boy.
Yeah. And if anyone knows, I already gave you a future prediction that when the Bengals come in here in week whatever it is, 6 or whatever, the Giants are gonna pick them off. The Giants are gonna pick them off on a Monday night. Or is it Sunday night? Sunday night.
Yeah, I think it's Sunday night.
Yeah, I said that a couple weeks ago. People were like, "Are you crazy?" Listen, man, I think the Bengals are not going to live up to this expectation that the league and the media has for them. So
it's great, man. Great take.
Another thing, let's just to talk about the Bengals a little bit more. Did the loss of Joe Mixon really mean that much to them, or is Chase Brown and them going to supplant what Mixon actually brought to that team? The loss of Tyler Boyd, the loss of that third receiver that he could count on. That was the number one receiver at one point. T. Higgins with his contract negotiations going on. They lost some pieces on defense last year, and you saw it. And they really haven't replaced those pieces. You know what I'm saying? Jamar Chase is wanting a contract. They got a lot of people wanting a lot of money, and they just paid Joe Burrow a lot of money coming off an injury that's never really happened in the NFL before with that wrist injury that he had. Is he going to be the same? Is he still going to be Joe Cool? We mentioned that earlier. Is the Bengals defense the same? So, Miz, you might be on to something, man. It just depends on how they start off the season. They start off the season with a couple of losses. It can get real ugly over there.
I just don't like that O-line at the last few years, and I don't see where they really, truly, completely repaired it. And then, to be honest with you, call me. Let me know when who is it? Chase? Let me know when he gets on the field. I don't think he's even practiced an hour yet.
So the Bengals.
Well, Higgins hasn't been on the field.
I'm sorry. So Higgins. I'm talking about Higgins. My bad. All right.
Yeah, he's in a contract dispute. Go ahead, NYG.
The Bengals' schedule is they start off at home versus the Patriots. Then they go at the Chiefs, come back home against the Commanders, go at the Panthers, then come back home to the Ravens, at Giants, at Browns versus Eagles, versus Raiders, at Ravens, at Chargers, versus Steelers, versus at Cowboys, at Titans, versus Browns, Buccaneers, and at Steelers.
That's not an easy schedule. I mean, the beginning of the season, that's what I'm saying. Beginning of the season is the easiest part of the schedule. So if they lose some games in the early part of that schedule.
They need to win that first 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
Patriots, Chiefs, they might lose that one. And then you got Commanders at home, and then you go to Carolina. You got to win those 2.
And we ain't going to be no pushover this year.
Nah.
So,
right.
And the Steelers always seem to at least get one game against them every year.
True.
So it's gonna be a battle, man.
And look, can Burrow give you a whole season? I mean,
Facts.
So again, that O-line, again, we all know how much O-line means to a team. I got to see their O-line play better, protect that guy. They haven't done that. Even the year the
left guard and Orlando Brown Jr. at left tackle.
And then shout out to Buckeye DK. He says he's a Titans fan here, and don't sleep on them. Besides, I think Joe Milton, the QB, will be elite, and the Patriots' young weapons will eat slowly. Well, they're going to start Drake May, Buckeye, but appreciate you coming in as a Titans fan. This is what we're doing this for. Give you all content on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. I'll put the link back in the chat, man. If you can subscribe to all our channels as well as the Big Blue Crew Sports Network, it'd be greatly appreciated. So just because he made that comment, let's talk about his team a little bit. Let's talk about the Titans.
Tennessee Titans.
Can we remember the Titans this year? Bro,
Remember the Titans, bro.
What about the Titans, man? What do you guys think about the Titans this year, man? What do you think Will Levis and them could do for the Titans this year, man? After losing Derrick Henry, they brought in Pollard to replace some of that production that they could lose with Derrick Henry. Got old man Hopkins out there, as you see.
They got Calvin Ridley.
You got Calvin Ridley. Tony Pollard. Will Levis is an up-and-coming quarterback. What you guys think about the Titans, man? Can they make any noise this year, man?
I mean, you look at their roster though. It's like quiet as kept is like they can, they got a talented roster. It's not like they O-line. They got the dude last year was Skoronski. They picked last year in the draft. Lloyd Cushenberry. JC Latham
at left tackle.
Yeah, so their line is underrated. I mean, it's gonna be underrated.
They're solid. They're solid in the trenches. They're stable in the trenches. They've always been. But even bigger than losing Henry, to me, was losing that head coach.
Mike Vrabel.
Because I feel he was the identity of that team, of that window, and I'm not sure if that window is just about shut. Plus, you got the Texans and the Jaguars in that division, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I'm one that thinks like Lawrence is going to have his big breakout year this year. So we'll see.
So yeah, Will Levis is on Will Levis, man, because after him it's who is it? Malik Willis.
Not even two though. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so Will Levis is gonna have to do his thing this year, man. But he got Calvin Ridley, Boyd, Hopkins. I think is out right now. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Titans and make them a 500 team. Maybe 9-8, maybe 8-9, depending on a missed field goal or something. That's where I got them.
But you have to look at their defense too, because they got Jeffrey Simmons. Everybody knows Jeffrey Simmons is a monster. Then you got L'Jarius Sneed, who they got from the Chiefs.
Yeah, they did get L'Jarius Sneed. That's right.
Yeah.
Quandre Diggs is the strong safety, and Harold Landry the third.
Co-producing in the background right now too, though.
and then they picked Tavondre Sweat in the draft, so to pair with Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey Buckeye, y'all might not be too bad because I'll tell you this, Prince Charming over there with the Jaguars, man. I think you guys can beat the Jaguars. You beat them last season through all the stuff he was going through last season. You know what I'm saying? So
he looked a little different this preseason. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's just that loss of King Henry, Jamal Adams. That dude will be hurt week 3. Buckeye.
Jamal Adams will be hurt.
Since we on that, Pat. Since we on that for 1 second, let me tell you something. Ingram's gonna have a monster year
for the Jaguars. Yeah, I think he is.
He caught over 100 passes last year, right?
Yes, and he's doing it in preseason, and he's doing it big.
Yeah, because he don't have to block. That's one of the things he had to block when he was here with the Giants. He don't have to block over there as much.
Yeah, so we got your defensive coordinator. We'll see what Shane Bowen can do with us this year. And yes, Brian Callahan is a good coach for what it's worth. I do think the Titans, they're going to scare some people this year. I still think you finish third in that division, right above the Colts. And it just depends on what Prince Charming do. You might finish second in that division because he's known to blow some leads, man. Paul.
So hold on. What's the dude from Remember the Titans? Sunshine Boy.
Yeah, Sunshine. Yeah, Sunshine over there gonna mess up.
Sunshine.
Appreciate that, Buckeye.
But
I like to talk about a team, Pat, if we can.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like to talk about a team I think is going to have a big year, and that's the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
I like them a lot all around.
Return of Deshaun Watson.
The dog pound be barking this year.
Dog pound.
And the defense is real deal. So.
Oh, yeah.
And they went out and got Jerry Jeudy. Still got Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore from the Jets. Drafted Cedric Tillman a year ago.
And Watson got a year under his belt, so I think a better Watson this year. He takes his face out of his ass and plays football. I think he could be pretty good. So,
yeah, I do think he can be pretty good.
Yeah, he just.
But speaking of Deshaun Watson, can he lead the Browns into a playoff victory, or just get them back to the playoffs this year? Because they really did it without him last year. I mean, Joe Flacco came in and he did what he did to get them into the playoffs. Can Deshaun Watson get back to the Deshaun Watson he was with the Houston Texans?
She got started on massage parlors.
He honestly don't even have to be what he was with the Texans. He just got to play smart football. Their defense is not going to allow a lot of points usually. So
that is true.
I mean, you got Amari Cooper over there. You got Jerry Jeudy. You got David Njoku. Nick Chubb will be back probably mid-season when he gets back to form. Still one of the better offensive lines in football, and Deshaun Watson is supposed to be one of the better quarterbacks in football. Now, let me ask you this, because nobody has really brought this up. Is playing outdoors affecting Deshaun Watson? Because remember over there with the Texans, he was in a dome.
Yeah, well.
And over there in the cold, you're throwing in the elements and everything over there in Cleveland. Could that be affecting him?
One of the coldest places in the country, bro. I don't know, but you got to adjust to it.
You played in Clemson in college, right?
Right.
All right, Luke.
No, I was responding to Tudo because he said, stop being a ninja eater because he thought I was had my camera off because I
don't know, Dealey. I wouldn't call Judy a bum.
Background.
I'm not gonna sit here and call Judy a bum, bro. I mean, like,
as a second receiver, I mean, nah.
Let's see what he does with Watson. Let's see.
Let's see what he does with Watson. But just to talk about the Browns more, that division is brutal. You got the Steelers,
AFC
the
North,
Bengals, and the Ravens. Like NYG, how do you think they stack up in the AFC North? How do you think they stack up against them boys over there?
I think the Browns match up about even. I mean, it's going to be a battle. I think Cleveland. Dang, Baltimore's defense is really good too, though.
Yeah.
See, I can't even say they have the best defense. They definitely don't have the best offense. So, I mean, I would probably put them.
Yeah, bro.
They might be over the Steelers. I would say that because some about Pittsburgh's is off. I don't know what they do. I don't know, man. But I think Pittsburgh's still going to always be a dangerous team. But I would put them. I might put them over the Bengals. I mean, if you're thinking the Bengals is going to take a step back, then you might put them over the Bengals. But I'll probably put them third, to be honest with you, in my rankings.
Ooh.
Somebody got their TV in the background. Is that you, Miz?
No. That's not me.
Mm-mm.
I think it'll be a 3-horse race. Even this Bengals, though I said that they won't be the same, they're still gonna win like at least 8. They'll probably still win 9 games, So
yeah, right.
I'm not saying the Bengals are gonna fall off earth. They're still gonna. So this division's gonna beat up on each other. So who gets to 10?
Good take.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be surprised. The Browns, the Ravens, even the Steelers. I don't know. I'm a little higher on the Steelers than you guys, but don't be surprised they're all tied or within 1 game of each other going into the last week.
Mind you, guys, we still have not gotten out of week 2.
I mean, yeah, well, we're talking about all the NFL teams.
The games. Oh, we supposed to do all 17 games?
I'm just letting the viewers know. Like we still on week 2 of the season.
Uh-huh.
Alex be going to this game.
Yeah, you're right about that, Ryan. Lattimore do got that dog in him, man. He will fit right in.
But let me switch it to this. I'm gonna give you guys my dark horse Super Bowl contender. I want you guys to give me your dark horse Super Bowl contenders. Mine is gonna be the Houston Texans.
Okay.
Reason why, they have a huge following over there for CJ Stroud. And so instead of just resting off what he did last season, they actually gave him more this season, which is kind of scary. Because now you got Nico Collins and Tank Dell in the second year with CJ Stroud, and both those guys are developing.
Yes, our birthdays are coming up.
Yep. And
Me, you, and Miz. Yeah, me, you, and Miz.
And they added Stephon Diggs to that and kept Dalton Schultz.
And Mixon.
Kept that offense, and Joe Mixon, and kept that offensive line intact. And their defense is still intact. And not only is the defense still intact, they added another edge rusher as well. And if this kid can continue what he was doing last year, playing with that poise and just making plays when
Thank
he's
you very much, Chevelle Hamilton. Hit that subscribe button for the Big Blue Crew Sports Network as well, our new centralized location for all your sports contents needs. There is the link highlighted on the screen right there. Continue, Pat.
Yeah, let me get my train of thought back.
He's about Tank Dell and all these CJ Stroud weapons.
If he can continue to make those plays that he was making last year, now they can stretch the field more with Stephon Diggs out there on the field. And then their run game is going to get a little bit better because they're not dependent on Dameon Pierce. They're dependent on the running back that's done it, that's been to a Super Bowl, and Joe Mixon. So now their running game is legit. Their passing game is legit. The tight end is legit. The offensive line is legit. The defensive line is legit. The linebackers are legit. The cornerbacks are legit. The safeties are legit. Like, they've literally, right underneath our noses, the past 2 years have built an absolutely amazing roster with a coach that they believe in, and they take on his attitude, as you say, like the Raiders do with Antonio Pierce. D'Amico Ryans does the same thing with this team. Very tough, play to the whistle, play strong, play fast, dominate. I truly believe these dudes, if they are healthy, are going to be one of the worst teams you want to see, especially during the playoffs. If they can find some way to get home field advantage, it's going to be a problem playing in that dome.
Here's their schedule. They start the season at the Colts, then they come home to Chicago, then go at the Vikings, come home to Jacksonville, then they stay home to Buffalo, at the Patriots, at the Packers, versus the Colts, at the Jets, versus the Lions, at the Cowboys, versus the Titans, at the Jaguars, versus the Dolphins, at the Chiefs, versus the Ravens, at the Titans.
I see 12-5. Now, would that be good enough to get them a number one seed in the AFC? Just depends on what the Ravens and the Chiefs do. But if this team gets the number one seed in the AFC and you have to go to that dome and play, it's going to be a problem because the advantage that you have over them is playing in the cold. They can't really do what they do to you when they play you in that dome. So if this team messes around and get number one seed in the AFC, it's going to be a problem because they got too many weapons on both sides of the ball. Go ahead, Miz.
The mirror image of this team, in my belief, in the NFC is the Detroit Lions. because Detroit, all the same things you said. And they made that huge step last year, and I think now they got the experience, a stronger defense, and they're going to be ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And you know Dan Campbell ain't no joke. They do not want to disappoint that man over in Detroit. You're going to get maximum effort from the Detroit Lions every game, just like the Texans, because DeMeco Ryans don't play that. And with this team being as talented as they are, and they were fortunate enough to draft C.J. Stroud, who is their franchise quarterback, they're going to be a problem as long as they stay healthy. Tank Dell stays healthy all year. Nico Collins stays healthy all year. Diggs stays healthy all year. Schultz and Mixon with C.J. Stroud and a very good offensive line, you can't tell me these dudes ain't going to dominate some people out there. It's too much. It's too many weapons out there, bro. And they playing a dome. It's too much.
Pat got some love for the Texans, I could tell.
Yeah, everybody want to say
right
that
there.
got their second
From last year, I remember. No, they're a very strong team, and they're quiet about it.
I'll tell you the reason why I mess with the Houston Texans, because they built their team the way I would have built it.
Mm-hmm.
They literally right on the people's noses. Oh, the Texans suck. Those dudes were building that team before they brought DeMeco Ryans over there. They had a young core over there, believe it or not. And what DeMeco Ryans did is he unlocked those guys. He made those guys believe. Nico Collins was already there. You see what I'm saying? People like him were already there. They just didn't have nobody to get on the ball. That defense was already there.
I love Nico Collins in college.
And what's crazy is they fired Lovie Smith for winning that game towards the end of the season for the number 2 pick, and he ended up getting C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
See what I'm saying? Because they were going to draft Bryce Young, but C.J. Stroud was the guy that they needed. Because I don't think they would be as hot with Bryce Young over C.J. Stroud. They would have been decent, but C.J. Stroud's just a different type quarterback. And they're going to show a lot of people, man. I'm telling you.
They made all the right moves. Like when they got sick of Watson, the whole country was going nuts on them. How can you, get rid of Watson? Bro, they made all the right moves. So.
They made all the right moves. But what's your guys' dark horse?
Dark horse.
I got another little tiny small hot take right after you guys. Go ahead.
Tudo be bugging sometimes. He said, Lou, believe our birthdays on the same week. Yes, they are. No more excuses, no more. Big bro has buy us dinner, mate. Keep your skinny wallet tight for the days coming. Okay, we'll do.
There ain't gonna be no Packers Chiefs Super Bowl because that's what the league's been dying for years. It's not gonna happen. Too obvious.
So what's your take on the Dallas Cowboys? Honestly, not as as a Giants fan who hates the Cowboys. What's going on with the Dallas Cowboys that you guys see or don't see? Is this team destined to try to break the curse after 29 seasons, or are they still with the same issue?
I think they got worse to me. I mean, they losing people. I mean, the salary cap implications, they couldn't do nothing. They couldn't upgrade their roster, and the offensive line ain't the same like the way they used to be, like one of the top offensive line,
on screen again, Lou.
Some guys are breaking down, they're gone, so their offensive line is going to be in flux this season too. And CeeDee Lamb is really like their only weapon really on offense,
Yeah, like I said earlier, man, I think chemistry holds the Cowboys back. They got too much going on. They talk too much. Some of the players don't like each other. They've been basically said it in the media. You know what I mean? I mean, it's then you got these contract things. Jerry Jones is out there looking like 100-year-old senile. Don't know what's going on. Not in tune with what he needs to do and what's good for the franchise. I mean, losing his grip clearly. As far as the football side is with the Cowboys. So I don't. I just it's hard to envision them having that enough chemistry to, and then the head coach, Mike McCarthy. You know, is he the guy that's going to be able to put all this together? You know, the Cowboys need a head coach like a Bill Belichick. But guess what? That'll never happen under Jerry Jones' watch, because Bill Belichick
Wants control, and
yeah.
Jerry Jones will not relinquish control because he's a control freak.
Right, and Bill Belichick will come in here and bring the proper culture and structure to the Cowboys, and watch that talent will click and mesh, and they'll be a dangerous team. But that'll never happen.
He tried that with Parcells, and him and Parcells was rebuilding that team. And him and Parcells left. Parcells like,
I know. That's what I'm saying. The Cowboys will never win as long as they keep this type of culture. They let these players talk and do whatever they want.
Jesus Christ, too, though. Jesus Christ. He says, Lou will be sending you our birthday dinner wish list, so you won't be too surprised with the dinner bill, mate.
But man, K, what you think about the Cowboys?
Yeah, I just said with the Cowboys, man. I feel like they going down, man, and they on a decline. Like I said, the offensive line is in flux. It's not the same offensive line. The talent level ain't where it used to. You know, as far as like the weapons, they only got CeeDee Lamb. Like I said, yeah, Brandon Cooks is there too, but you know, is Dak gonna have time to throw the ball too this year? You know.
I want to hear what Miz has to say about the Cowboys, as not as you know. You know, we all hate the Cowboys,
right?
I'll be honest with you, man.
NFL, as a football fan, what do you see?
I'm gonna be real with you, yo. The demise of the Dallas Cowboys, I'll see it when I believe it. I believe the Cowboys are still, once they get on the field this year, they're still gonna be a strong football team.
Yeah, in the regular season.
I do think the Giants are gonna beat them once this year, which is a big deal. But I still think that Dallas will make some time. At some point, Dallas is going to make more noise than we've seen. I don't know why. I know I've said that the last 2 years, but I just get the feeling at some point they're going to have their due little run.
Nah, not with this head coach.
Nah.
He's not a bad coach, MYG. He's not a bad coach.
He's not a bad coach. He's not going to be able to take this team to a Super Bowl, bro.
Nah.
I can't listen. People want to blame him because they got blown out last year. Yo, that's on the players, man. That team is a veteran, good football team. If you don't show up to a playoff game at home like that, it's fucking on you, not the coach.
But
yeah,
the
it's
team,
not blaming the coach, but it's the guys you have on this team. You need a different type of head coach. Mike McCarthy would be great on the Vikings or a team like that. But the Cowboys need an alpha type head coach. That's not Mike McCarthy. Because look at the players they got on: Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott, all these stars, superstar, ego type players, man. You know what I'm saying? And they are good. I give you that. They are talented. But to win in the playoffs, you need to be able to trust your teammates, and it can't be all about you and what you want and you getting your money and you getting your bag.
And they haven't been back to the Super Bowl in over 30 years, man. With all the talent level that they have, every year they disappoint in the playoff. I mean, they don't even. That's what I say. They're a good regular season team, but they're not a good postseason team.
You know what? Do this, Pat. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to cut you off, Pat. While he's talking, you bring up Dallas's schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, NYG can tell you.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can look at the schedule all you want, but the main thing is the playoffs. That's what counts.
Yeah, well, no, I know that.
They've never had a bad regular season. It's always
right.
been the playoffs.
They win 12 games a year.
How their season starts out the first 6 games. That's what I'm wanting to see.
Oh, they saw that.
Dallas right here. At Browns versus Saints.
Loss
versus Ravens.
Loss.
Giants. At
Loss.
Steelers.
Oh no, Pat! Come on.
At 49ers. Hold on.
Loss.
At Falcons versus Eagles versus Texans. At Commanders versus Giants versus Bengals. At Panthers versus Bucks. At Eagles versus Commanders.
Pat, I'm gonna say that Falcons game, that's a loss. Falcons got a run game, and that run
Yeah,
game,
where's
Dallas
the
is not
game?
good against the run. I don't care where the game is at. Dallas is not good against the run with Bijan
Fuck that.
Robinson
I
and
do,
guys.
bro. I care where it is. I
No,
don't
I
care.
don't
I
care
don't
where
care
it's
where
at.
Atlanta. I don't
It's
care.
at
They
Atlanta.
they both play in dome stadiums, so it don't matter.
Yeah,
They both
it's
play
in
in
Oh,
dome,
Atlanta.
it
so it don't
matters.
matter.
It matters, man. It matters.
It's in Atlanta.
It
I'm
matters.
already doing
And then we
that too,
talk,
though.
all of a sudden, Atlanta's some powerhouse. Nah, let
No,
me
I'm
see
not saying
it.
I'm not saying they're not no powerhouse, but what I'm saying is like
Well,
they got a good run game, bro.
the stretch of games here for the
I'm
Cowboys.
already working overtime and side jobs and everything else too, though. And shit, I'm stretched in, Jake. This fuck that. My body can't keep doing that.
I mean, they got a pretty tough start to the regular season. I mean, you're talking about at Cleveland, that's no cakewalk. You know, then you come home to the Saints. Okay, say you
They're not
get that
losing
one. Then you play the Ravens. Then you're gonna play at the Giants and at the Steelers.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Then
tough,
the
bro.
Lions, who are
Oh.
a Super Bowl team. Then you go at the 49ers. And then from there, it might lighten up a little
Yeah.
bit. Falcons, Eagles, Texans, Commanders, Giants, Bengals.
Hey, that's why they play the games. We'll see how they look.
But that's, I mean, their
So-
schedule ain't
I'm not the first
ain't
five.
light. It ain't light.
500, you know?
It ain't light. I'm just saying.
Ain't no way to though. Ain't no motherfucking way. That defense is going to feast against Derek Carr and the Saints. Look, tomorrow night we will bring you part 2, and we will start from week 3 and until the season starts. This will be Sunday and Monday nights. We will go through every week of the NFL season and give you our take, our thoughts, our picks, and our insight into how this season is going to play out. So that's how Sunday Night Football Talk and Monday Madness is going to go. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. Subscribe to all of these great content creators' individual channels as well on Popular Opinion Sports, Man Cave Podcast, Big Pat Sports Talk, Miz in the Midday, G Nation Inside Sports, Classified 3F with Joe, Coach Ed Gladney's Amazing World of Sports, Big Blue in the Bronx, Mac the Giants fan, and many more. We got a lot more stuff coming your way, man. All sports needs will be taken care of at the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. So hit that subscribe button. But go ahead, Miz.
All right. So I'm gonna make another hot take. I'm probably gonna look stupid. The 49ers. The 49ers. I mean, they're gonna be a good team, but I just feel like how do I go about this? Like, yo, I think the Niners is gonna be like a sort of a step back, if you know what I mean. Like that window is not staying open forever. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
So if I'm not gonna listen. They're a good team, obviously, but it's like last year was their year right there. I don't know if they're gonna get to that level this year. That's what I'm saying.
I think if they trade Ayuk, definitely it's they're going to.
49ers.
If they keep Ayuk, and they keep that team together, so I think they'll be fine. With Trent Williams still there at left tackle. I think they'll get by. They'll probably have a slow start to the season like normally, but they'll be in the playoffs.
Trent Williams wants his extension too.
There you go. They better not go to week 1 without Trent Williams because last year Trent Williams was out and they went 0-3. Okay,
that's what they got to take care of, these contracts. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If they don't take care of these contracts, then they are going to take a step back.
Well, NYG, they could play without Ayuk. Some other young receiver will step up, but they ain't playing without Trent Williams. I promise you that.
I agree. Trent Williams is more important, but Ayuk is important too.
Ayuk opens up the middle of the field for them dudes, which allows Brock Purdy to do what he does best. Now, Brock Purdy got to go out there and start throwing dimes all over the field. It ain't happening.
No.
That I can tell you, but man, it's been a long day. I don't know if Lou is getting ready to end it.
Yeah.
But part 2 will be Monday night on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network.
Lou's ending it, bro. Let's go.
I say you already know. That's why I was.
You already know.
I was gonna. Miz was giving his take on the 49ers. I was gonna let that play out. I thought Pat was gonna go to the 49er footage, but you know,
We're good.
Yeah, I think we're
Oh,
good for
good, bro. I enjoy talking more about this type of stuff. You know, the predictions, the games, the football teams, their strategies. You know, I like that.
Well, that's what we'll be doing Sunday and Monday nights until the season starts. Since I ain't got no games to call.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll find a way to talk about it more throughout the week with our streams. We'll do more of this with our streams.
Hey, for the first time, I'm going to say this. I never say this to all these new guys. Yo, why don't you guys sub up to the Miz, man? You ain't helping me grow any. I'll tell you that.
Man. Yeah.
Step up. I'll bring the passion, the love. I love everybody. Yo, you better fucking get on there and give me a sub, man. I'm tired of this bullshit, bro. I got a new picture. I got MYG getting me thumbnails. I appreciate him very much. I'm trying to make my stuff a little bit better. But my passion talk about actual real deal football and the Giants, that's just who I am. That's what it's going to be. I'm not into fantasy or cartoons or any of that. But if you ain't subbing to me, I'm coming looking for you.
He's gonna meet me. He's gonna come in the parking lot.
And when the Miz speaks, we listen.
That's right, bro.
You see, Tudo put the link in the chat. When the Miz speak, we listen.
Man. Don't be ninja watchers.
Right.
Subscribe, man. You know what I'm saying?
But man, Lou, I don't know if you get ready to end it, but
you already know, bro. That's what I'm saying. Until next time, man. You know where to catch everybody. Hit them links, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, hit that bell icon so you'll be notified every time that we post, make a video, or go live. You already know what it is. Until next time, man.
Ain't no chat, no like, it's just action. All my just front like it's hatching. You already know. Popping. Ain't no stopping me, man, steady rocking. Watch them hate on me now cause I'm locked in. Watch the hate on me now cause I'm popping. I ain't stopping.